All right, so another lovely day for the Talking Point Show. I am very, very sorry for the break in transmission. You know that everything about Elevated TV was still test running, we're still trying our hands to do things and keep things going. But somewhere in the middle of all of this, I had to travel to Benin, go mentor the Edo beat. You know, we have Eco beats in Lagos, and I have Edo beats in Benin. You will see the pictures, flying. It was fun, it was exciting, it was a great moment in Benin. I'm back, and then in between, even before going to Benin, we had the whole European Union business that we had to tackle and a few things. But then it's still the Talking Point Show, and my name is Idafe Matthew Esioganef, and they call me the Elevator One of Sports. Now let's hit the ground running and go straight to the business of the day. This is the new norm in football, and when I do this, you know what I mean. Was it right? First, I agree that the Juventus fans were taunting Jose Mourinho, and they say things like "shove up your treble." I can't say the words. Very, very not say, but I know that we're uncensored. We can say anything, but I can't say "shove up your treble up your." So let's just say that you understand what I mean. And then at the end of the game, Manchester United came back from a losing position. Their former player, Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring that amazing goal. Was it that a lovely goal, a long pass into the box, and one touch, boom, David De Gea was lost, and Cristiano Ronaldo scored that goal. But the question I'm asking is, would it have been better if Mourinho had just played the big man? Just ignore. After all, they've won. But, putting his hand to his ear, the Okogan style, let's even bring Okogan into the mix. Doing like Okogan, is it really necessary? Well, it's up to you guys to decide. Now let's get past that. Let's talk about our dear Super Eagles. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing against South Africa in an African Nations Cup qualifiers next week. Next episode of the Talking Point Show will dwell more on it. John Obi Michael says he's not yet ready to play for the national team. He wants to be fully fit. I don't know if he's dodging games, but it's up to you to decide. If we had qualified for the Nations Cup and we're going to the Nations Cup, would they give us this excuse? Jude Odioigalo, another player in China, the highest goal scorer in the competition right now, is genuinely injured. My question is, who do you think should replace him? Henry Yekuru, Carlos Samuel, Kelechi Iheanacho? Of all of these, pick your man to take the place of Jude Odioigalo up front. Now let's get past that. Let's talk about Sarri. We hear now that Sarri wants to buy Wilson from Bournemouth. Yeah, do you think that Wilson is a player, £35 million deal? Do you think that Wilson is a player that is needed at Chelsea to help them from January to push really for the title? Let's not forget that after 5 months or so, Olivier Giroud scored in the Europa Cup to lead them into the next stage of the competition. So Chelsea are through. They can relax for the remainder of the games in the competition and focus on what they need to focus on. What do you think? Do you think that's the kind of player they need to sign? And then talking about Arsenal now, let's go to Arsenal. We hear that the Arsenal board are saying that they cannot buy British players because they are too expensive. So therefore, they're looking for players outside of England to purchase. My question is, are we still in the Wenger era where cheap articles, as we say in Warri, a cheap article the run belle? You really think that Arsenal is still running that mill of cheap article, or Arsenal should just go by that formula of going outside of Europe to buy players? Now, there is one ugly incident that happened before the African Women Championship, and that's how the Super Falcons of Nigeria were camped in Lagos, somewhere in Ekpe. Atlantic Star School was where they were training, and then when they were going back, there was no fan of there was nothing to herald their exit. These are 10 times champions. I don't think that there is any national team in the world that is as successful on their continental level, both male and female, like the Super Falcons of Nigeria. 10 times African champions. And when they were going, they just left like orphans. Everybody wore what they brought from their houses. Compared to the Super Eagles that we all know that no matter what they play, they will not win the World Cup. They will not get to the quarterfinals or the semi-finals or the finals of the World Cup. But you see all those activities around the Super Eagles. the focus here on this talking point is Amaju. Is Amaju the president of the Super Eagles? Amaju Melvin Pinnick. Is he the president of the Super Eagles, or probably is the president of the NFF? I really want to know. Is he the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, or just elected to hang around the Super Eagles? Because when you look at what happens with the Falcons and the female national team the other time that they were kneeling down to count dollars in front of the ministers, and then you add that to the junior men national team, you worry yourself. Now, at this point, before I go to the games that I'm picking up for this weekend, let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League. Yes, we don't know when the official date of the league kicking off, but do you think it is time, looking at some of the teams that are outside the league, Bagada FC of Lagos, for instance, we hear that they're about to sign a partnership with AS Roma, and we look at teams like 36 Lions, how they managed to run this club, and they have a semblance of professionalism better than them. Do you think it is about time that the LMC enforce the rules, the rules of CAF when it comes to organizing these games, and then we get the right things to run in this? These are all the questions that I need us to talk about and get involved in the conversation. While we're that, let's take this break. When I come back, I'll give you my games predictions for this weekend. All right, welcome back to the Talking Point Show. My name is Idafe Matthew Esiogonye. You call me the Legoto One of Sports. Now let's go to the games and start from the English Premier League. Cardiff City lost to Leicester last week. They lost at home. They're going to be playing against Brighton and Hove again this week. Something tells me that Brighton and Hove will win that game. So I will go with Brighton and Hove to win that game. Worst case, you can put them Brighton and Hove to win or draw. Cardiff doesn't look like a team that wants to win. The match between West Ham and Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield Town, I think that is difficult to beat at home, but I think that West Ham are good enough for my smart money. So I'm putting my smart money on West Ham to win that game. Leicester City playing against Burnley. Seems like a game that both teams will score. That's the surest bet on that game. But I'll still go with Leicester to win. The spirit of their late chairman or president, might just guide them. Newcastle won their first game of the season last week at home. They're playing again at home. Bournemouth coming to play against Newcastle. I think that Newcastle would win this one, even though everything looked like Bournemouth to win. So if you're doing accumulator, this is one game you don't want to put on the accumulator. Or probably if you must pick it, let it be over 2.5 or both teams to score. That's the one I want to call that one. Yes, the game between Southampton and Watford looked to me like a game that will end in a draw, but both teams definitely will score in this one. So my best bet is the game is either going to be a draw or both teams will score. Okay, Crystal Palace playing against Tottenham Hotspur. Crystal Palace have had the run against London team. They drew against Arsenal. They lost against Chelsea, another London team. I don't know how these fixtures was arranged that these London teams are playing against each other. They say London have more teams in the Premier League than any other city in England. So probably that's the reason why the fixture ball is rolling them together. What would happen in this game? Tottenham Hotspur have lost one in their last 5, managed to win other 4 games. So I think that Tottenham Hotspur will still find a way to win this one with the Leicester that have lost 4 in 5. The only drawn game was the one against Arsenal where they stopped the Arsenal winning run. Okay, let's go to the game between Liverpool and Fulham. The coach of Liverpool have come out to say that if Liverpool doesn't win any title this season, they are a failure, a complete failure compared to last season where they didn't win anything, but they were celebrated and heralded, and all the blame went to Sergio Ramos for the Kairos Gate and all that. Do you think that if Liverpool doesn't win anything this season, they are a failure? But focusing on the bet, I think Liverpool playing against a Fulham team that have not won a single game in the last 5, lost all of them, Liverpool would win. But then Liverpool have drawn too many games. 3 draw in 5, not too good. Then let's go to Chelsea, Everton. I think Chelsea are on the run. Sarri ball is working. Chelsea is going to win that one. Man City playing against Manchester United. Manchester United have won 3, drawn 1, lost 1 in their last 5. But Man City have won 4, drawn 1 in their last 5. This game is going to go down at the Etihad. Last season, Manchester United stopped their title match when they won that game, coming back from 2 goals down to win 3-2 at the Etihad. Is that going to happen today, this weekend again? I really don't know, but my smart money is on the goal-loving Pep Guardiola side. These are 2 former friends at Barcelona that have become sworn enemy from the La Liga. Now they are not really fighting against each other, but I think that Man City are going to win this one. That's my pick in the EPL for this weekend. Well, we can push it further and go to the Spanish La Liga. I don't know if I'm going to pick every game there, but Valladolid playing against Eibar. It could go either way, but I think I'll go with Valladolid to win this one. The game between Getafe and Valencia. Home win. Getafe might win this one. Yes, that's what everybody's been predicting, but I'm going for a draw. This game is going to end in a draw. Atletico Madrid playing against Athletic Bilbao. I go with Atletico Madrid to win. Girona playing against Leganés. I'm going with Girona to win this one. The game between Alves and Huesca. I go with Alves to win over 2.5 in that game. Barcelona playing against Real Betis is going to be a very tough game, but I go with Barcelona to win. Rayo Vallecano playing against Villarreal. I'll go with Rayo Vallecano and Villarreal to play at a draw. Very, very boring draw. Espanyol playing away to Sevilla. I'll go with the Sevilla win in this game. The battle between Celta Vigo and Real Madrid. Yes, Real Madrid have won only 1 in 5, lost 3, drawn 1. I think I'll go with Celta Vigo to get a win or a draw in this game. It's going to be very, very tight. Celta Vigo are always a difficult team for Real Madrid. Now let's go to Germany. I'm not going to pick all the games. The game between Freiburg and Mainz. I think Freiburg will win this one. Hoffenheim playing against Augsburg. I think Hoffenheim would win that one. The game between Werder Bremen and Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think Werder Bremen would win this one. Both teams will score. Biggest game of the weekend, Borussia Dortmund table toppers playing against defending champion Bayern Munich. Looks like a game that went in a draw, but something tells me the best bet in this game is both teams to score. That is your surest bet. Another big game, RB Leipzig playing against Bayern Leverkusen. I think that it's looked like a game that both teams will score as well. But the sweet one is Eintracht Frankfurt playing against Schalke 04. I'll go all day with Eintracht Frankfurt to win that one. Let's leave Germany and jump straight to Italy and pick a few great games there. Torino playing against Parma. I'll go with Torino to win that one straight. The game between Napoli and Genoa. I think Napoli will win that one. Atalanta playing against Inter Milan. Inter Milan are good in their last 5 games. Atalanta have won 3 and lost 2. I think I'll go with Inter Milan to win away from home. The match between AC Milan and Juventus. The Gonzalo Higuain factor. This game just might end in a draw, but I'll go with a Juventus win, both teams to score. Is my surest bet in that one. Let's leave Italy and move somewhere else. I'm sweating now. Seriously, it's hot in here. It's getting really, 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 really hot. Paris Saint-Germain playing against Monaco. Thierry Henry, is this the game is going to win his first game? I don't think so. That team is not good. That team is horrible. Thierry Henry made the wrong choice. It's going to take time for him to settle. That is if he doesn't get fired before the winter break. Somehow I think Paris Saint-Germain are going to cast hot iron on their misery and win this game with plenty of goals. So I think Paris Saint-Germain will win that one. The game between Marseille and Dijon, Marseille will win that one. The game between Nimes and Nice, I think Nice will go away and pick a win in that game. Now let's move away from that and go to the Dutch League. Not too many games I want to pick in that one. The game between FC Imem and NAC, brother. I'll go with FC Imem to win that one. You know, the other people like Ajax, Feyenoord, and PSV obviously will win that game. So let me not even bother about them. You already know what to pick in that game. In Scotland, the game between St Mirren and Dundee United looked like a game that will end in a draw. But this is where my particular interest is in. St Johnstone playing against Hamilton. I think that St Johnstone would win. That is the end of the Talking Point show this week. My name remains Idafe Matthew Esiogene. Please share our content, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram. There is Precious doing a thing there. There is Allison and the whole crew. Support us to grow, because eventually when we grow, we would make you proud. But so far, I want to say bet wisely. Not because I said it, you just go and put all your money. Nobody is a god. Nobody can predict a football game. Players can score own goals. Players can pick up red card. Things can go wrong. Just make sure you bet wisely and don't put your school fees, house rent, or investment money on bet. Just be smart about it, and I hope that you win. But keep the talking points. Keep the conversation going on the talking point. Let's know what you think on the different talking points, from Marion's ear covering Kogan style to Amaju Pinnick focusing on the Super Eagles alone and leaving the other team, and the whole potpourri of talking point that we have raised. I just do hope that you enjoy the show and you continue to follow us. Thank you very much once again. My name is Idafe Matthew Esiogene. Hasta la vista.